Hello to everyone, and welcome to our fourth episode of Family Harmony. Today, I'd like to discuss a topic that I believe is of utmost importance to create a successful marriage. In the past, we discussed about the importance of marriage, why Hashem wants us to be married, how we're meant to perfect each other. The whole point of marriage is to be emotionally attached. But just imagine to yourself for a second, if there is a home, there's a family where the husband and wife are doing everything right. The husband helps in the kitchen, helps with the kids. The wife does all the things that the husband wants, cooking, cleaning. Everything is done right, like a perfect home. But every single night, before they go to bed, the husband turns to his wife and he tells her, "Honey, I really don't love you." And the wife turns back to her husband and she says, "Honey, the feeling is mutual. I don't love you too." And say good night and they go to sleep. And they do this day in and day out for many years. Would anybody in his right mind consider this to be a good marriage? They're doing everything right, no fighting. Every normal human being will tell you that's not a marriage. Imagine to yourself living like this for many years. Unfortunately, many of us do. We do say the lip service, "Honey, I love you," but the honey doesn't feel so loved. And many times we say, "Yeah, I care about you, I think about you," but the other person doesn't feel that you care about them and that you're thinking about them. They feel like those couple that the husband is doing everything right, I wish, and the wife is doing everything right, but yet still they're not connected to each other. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the most important part of marriage is that connection, the feeling that he really cares about me and he really loves me. How do we get to that? So let's start talking about the need that a human being has to give. Think to yourself for a second, imagine you own a store. What kind of product are you going to bring into the store? The things that you and your mother and your sister like? Or the products that you know that the clients will be happy with? Would you be smiling at the clients even though you don't necessarily know them or like them? Would you be running here, running there, doing whatever it is that they want? Of course, every good businessman that runs a business store would want to do that. Now, he doesn't really want to give them. He wants to take. He likes what they're giving him, their money. And therefore, he needs to give them. So we have to understand, in a relationship between a husband and a wife, it's a two-way street. It goes the same way. You have to give to your wife and smile at your wife and do the actions and the movements that make her happy. You can't give to your wife what you want to give to your wife. And your wife cannot give to you what she wants to give to you. Each and every one of us has to see, what is it that my partner wants and what is it that my partner really needs? In order for us to be able to accomplish something like that, we have to train ourselves to be a little bit less self-centered and more giving and more caring. I think I mentioned in one of the past episodes that the reason for why God created our children in such a situation that they need so much from us, so much TLC, so much physical needs, so much taking care of them, in order to train us to be giving people, to be thinking people about the other. That's how we accomplish love between us and our children, by giving them and giving them. It's the same thing with a husband and wife. If a wife is able to see the needs of her husband, to see what he's thinking, what he needs, what he wants, and give it to him, it will create a tremendous bond between her and her husband. Let's talk about a very important concept. It's a little bit philosophy, but the philosophers discuss, I think Aristotle is the one that brought this question. He says, I find a very interesting thing. He says, when parents give to their children, their children don't love the parents so much, but rather it becomes the opposite. The parents love the children more. The more you give to your children, the more you love them. When a rich man, when a wealthy man gives a donation to an institution, the rich man falls in love and feels more connected with the institution that he gives to more than the one who's receiving from him, more than the institution that is receiving from the wealthy man. So Aristotle was wondering, it's a very interesting phenomenon. I am losing money, I am losing energy, I am losing my life to take care of my children, to take care of this institution, but instead of me getting loved, to be loved by this institution or by children even more, I'm the one who loves them even more. How does that work? So there are a few answers for this question. But one of the answers is that God created us in His image. What that means is that each and every one of us is like a small God. We have the same strengths, many of the strengths. The Gemara Masechet Brachot lists 5 ways how we are similar to God. The same way God only likes to give and not to receive. God only gives and doesn't take. So too, humans have this tendency that they get very embarrassed when they take. And they get very much pleasure when they give. They get an abundance of pleasure when they give. They feel good when they give. And they feel very embarrassed when they take. Because the way God created the human being is that he should be made in His image. He should be similar to God in many ways. And one of the ways is that we don't like to take. We're very embarrassed to take. But we rather give. It makes us feel good. So a woman or a man has to understand in a relationship, the way to feel happy, the way to feel good is by trying to find out what is it that my partner really needs and try to give it to them in the best possible way. As I mentioned in the past, if a person says, the Gemara says, it's a Gemara says, Hal ben shinai michalav. It's much better to give a person a smile and make him feel that you enjoy his presence than give him a warm cup of milk, fresh warm cup of milk. Back then, in the time of the Gemara, a fresh warm cup of milk was a very big treat. The Gemara says, it's nothing in comparison to a big smile showing you white teeth to somebody that walks in. How much more so, making your partner in life, the one that you're obligated to connect to, the one that you're obligated to open the doors to your heart, to smile at them and make them feel that you love them and that you want to give them. Every opportunity we have to give to our partner will increase the Shalom Bayit between us. Now, that's one answer that they give. Another answer that there is for this question, why is it that the more I give, the more I love you, the more I feel invested in you? It's because everyone loves their belongings. Everybody loves themselves. Everybody loves their money. Everybody loves their intelligence, their strengths, their abilities, their wisdom. Everybody loves their depth. Everybody loves everything about themselves. So when I give you part of myself, when I give you, whether it's money, when I give you help, when I give you my energy, when I give you my advice, when I give you my smile, whatever it is that I give you, you have part of me in you now. You carrying with you part of me. And because you carrying with you part of me, I am sort of invested in you, and you have part of me in you, and therefore I like you even more. That's another philosophical answer that they give, but it doesn't really matter how it works. I believe there's another 3 or 4 answers out there how it works that are very deep and very intellectual answers, but it doesn't matter how it works. What matters is that it works. The more you train yourself to give to your husband or to your wife, to each other, the more you train yourself to find what is it that will make my husband or my wife happy, the more you will end up loving her. I want to end off with an advice. One thing that I think will change the marriage, will change our lives. Many times we are tricked by our Yetzer Hara, by our evil inclination, that it's not worth it to say something that you don't mean. It's not worth it to do something that you don't mean, and therefore You stop yourself from doing nice things to your partner because you think, I don't really like him right now. I'm really upset at him, and I don't really want to do these things for him. First, he has to start. First, she has to start. But we have to understand it's exactly the opposite. You don't do the way you're supposed to fix your marriage is you're not supposed to wait to love him and then give him. Exactly what I said until now is exactly the opposite. The more I give you, the more I love you. So even if you don't feel you want to give, you have to understand that you have to give. You should want to give even if you don't want to give. Because that's how you build a relationship. That's how you build a love. One of the things that I found makes wives very, very happy is to know that their husband is thinking about them throughout the day. If a husband wakes up in the morning, he takes a little rose and he puts it into his wife's car. When his wife comes to the car in the morning and she opens the door and she sees a little rose with maybe even a little note or a little gift once in a while, a CD or a book, honey, I'm thinking about you, I love you, I miss you, I'll see you later. That will change your wife's day for the rest of the day. And the whole day she'll be thinking about you. The whole day she'll be thinking about what an amazing husband I have. All you did is you just tried to fulfill a little need that she has. A little care about her feelings, a little care about her emotions will go a very, very long way. I pray to Hashem and I hope that all of us will be able to find the way to the hearts of our partners and to be able to connect and have a happy marriage, and therefore to be able to build a true home of the ways of our fathers and mothers. Thank you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day.